everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And as usual, we have Brent Duncan with us. Sam and I are always happy to welcome the CHS Athletic Director.
Glad to be back.
Even if I can't ever get anything out of him off air.
Any news from CHS you can bring us today? You've had a lot of
busy
news
week. Yeah, we had two conference placers last week. Kelsey Smith and Riley Fuller won the #1 doubles in the EIAC, so they were all conference at #1 doubles. And Jonah Graham placed 5th in the EIAC golf tournament.
Great.
Earning himself all conference honors. So.
Well, that's good news.
So that's where we're at in that.
Yeah. Have we had any youngsters going to college that have signed to be sports this year?
Well, we've had a few. They were kind of Indiana Wesleyan. I mean, IU East is Emily Hodson. You're putting me on the spot now. Maddie Fields is going to go play college at Lincoln Land Community College, and I think it's in Springfield, Illinois.
Okay.
Blake Bushy's going to wrestle at Manchester. Maria Wells is going to swim at Manchester. And I'm missing one. Caroline Arndt's going to run at Wittenberg.
Okay.
I think it's Wittenberg. So, and Caitlin Burris is going to cheer at Ball State.
That's good.
That's all I can pull off the top of my head at this time.
Well, that's pretty good. I know we should have discussed that, I guess, before, but
it's all right.
That's when you say she's going to cheer it. That's a pretty big deal to cheer at a Division I school.
Yeah, you got to go through all the processes of getting there and trying out just like everybody else. So she's been putting in her time and got some good things paid off for her. So it's a good place to go. That's my alma mater, so I can be chirper with her.
That's good. So, well, encourage all these youngsters that are going to college and hope they do well and represent CHS well.
Yeah, I just hope they realize what they're getting into from the college aspect of it. So,
is it different?
Academically and athletically both. So
different from high school?
Just a tad.
A lot different with time management.
Time management, lots of free time, and I think a lot of people don't understand when you go to college, you're on their time. So when coach says you be here at this time, there's not many options. So a little different world.
Word of advice I have for them when it comes to time: if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
That's pretty much true. About a half hour would be great. So just to make sure. But I've had a couple of brother-in-laws that's played at college Division I, and there's a different world. And
I'm sure the kids will do well, though. They've got a good background with 4 years CHS.
Yeah, I don't have any doubts. It's just it's different than high school. And I don't care if you're the valedictorian or the last kid in the class. It's an eye-opener when you get there. So hopefully they all do well and represent us well, which I don't have any doubts about that.
Spring sports is winding down. Fall sports is like 3 months away. Come August, you'll be busy with 7 sports. I've got them listed here as cross country, volleyball, girls soccer, boys tennis, football, girls golf. Plus, you always like to talk about the cheerleaders and the Spartanettes.
Yeah, it'd be busy. Fall's the busiest time. If you count cross country as both male and female, there's 8 sports in the fall, and then the cheerleaders and the Spartanettes give us 10 things to do between Shane and myself. And it's a busy time, but no better way to start the season than running at full force. So.
And school will begin August.
1st of August. I can't tell you the exact date.
Oh, 7th or 9th, long in there somewhere, and sports will be getting underway then.
Yeah, they'll start practice for most of them right there at the first week of August, and then get their 2 weeks within, and we'll start playing there about the middle of August for most sports, and football's right towards the end. So.
Right. So
be here before you know it.
It will, right. 3 months go by pretty quick, don't they, Sam?
Yes, they do. Yes,
only when you're getting older, like us.
And this TV series that we've had since August up until now has gone pretty quickly as well.
Yes, it has. This is our final show of the season, since the sports are winding down at CHS. We're winding down too, but we want to have Brent on to talk a little bit about sectionals coming up and the tournaments.
Yeah, we have tomorrow is actually the girls' track sectional out here. Starts at 5:30. Hopefully the Lady Spartans will be able to bring home a sectional trophy. That's the goal. And then Wednesday the girls' tennis sectional starts at CHS tennis courts.
Right.
We'll find out the draw this evening, so I'm not sure who we're playing. I just know we're playing on Wednesday. And then Thursday the boys' track sectional is here. And hopefully the boys will be geared up to bring home a trophy. Rushville's had a pretty solid team the last couple of years in track, so it'll be a good dogfight. And hopefully we'll be at the top with them. But you never know how kids are going to perform on a given day. So then we'll finish up the girls' tennis sectional on Friday, and the next week we'll start softball and baseball.
So you have a tennis sectional championship Friday.
Correct. So
Okay.
whoever wins on Wednesday, the two teams will come back and play on Friday. So
Okay. Then there'll be a team that will go on to the regional and individuals, or how does that
yeah,
work?
tennis is kind of strange. You'll have a team champion on Friday, and then
Okay.
if you're a number one singles player or a number one doubles player, and you haven't lost, but your team may have lost, you get to move on in the individual portion of the tennis tournament. So you're still in your sectional if you're not going as your team, but your team would be in the regional, but you as an individual could still be in the sectional next week. So,
Yeah, SSA figure that out.
well, there's always a team champion first, and the week after
Okay.
that, there's individual champions in it. So anybody that's playing for the state title in the team that hasn't lost yet gets to jump over into the singles side and the double side if their number one teams haven't been beat anywhere along the way yet. So it's a little different.
And remind us again of who's in that sectional.
Union County, Rushville, and Franklin County. And Franklin County's won probably 4 or 5 in a row. So, and they beat us 5-0 earlier, and then our number one doubles team beat their number one doubles team to win the conference championship. So maybe time's ready to change.
Ought to
So
be pretty good.
let's hope.
Hope we get a break from the weather, and the champion here Friday moves to, where is the regional?
Richmond Tuesday, starting at 4:30. So it'll be a Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on where you're at in the meet. So
If weather interferes, what happens?
Saturday rain day. That's where we pray for good weather the next 4 or 5
Right,
days. So get this
right.
week over, and our home events are winding down, and most everything else after this week will be on the road. So
Right.
golf will be in the 1st of June, so they're kind of the latest going. So
Tennis you can play in the rain, or not play in the rain, but track you can.
as long as
run
it's
in the
not
rain.
lightning and a torrential downpour, we're going. It looks like it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, though. I didn't look past to tomorrow's forecast. I still got lots of things to do for tomorrow yet. So we'll just pray for a little warmer weather and a little sunshine. And about 9 o'clock tomorrow night, we'll have a champion in the girls' track sectional. So
It's supposed to be cool. Is that good or bad for athletes?
depends on who you're asking. The long distance runners like it cool because it gets too hot running. So
Okay.
I'm sure the sprinters would rather have it a little bit warmer, but so
And then some of the other events, shot and
yeah, I'm
pole
sure.
vault and
It affects
high
a
jump
little
and
bit
all
of that, just getting
Uh,
yourself warm and those quick fiber muscles trying to fire. But hopefully the coaches will get them out and get them warmed up well. And you know, track sectional is different. It's because you don't have co-ed meets, so there's a little less sit time in between your meets that you're used to. So that makes a little bit of difference in how you perform because you got less rest time. So hopefully you'll learn how to stay warm and be mentally ready in a shorter period of time than what you're used to for the whole year.
That's interesting that it is split up because during regular season, regular meets, it is co-ed.
Yeah.
Or as they don't compete against each other,
Correct.
co-ed, but one race of girls and then the boys. So.
Right. So it's a little different when you don't have the other gender there with you as far as another race in between yours. So I'm not sure why it hasn't gone to that yet, but maybe in time it'll be a Saturday event and it'll be a boy-girl co-ed sectional instead of a Tuesday night, Thursday night. But that probably has to be led by the Coaches Association to make that change. So
Connersville is fortunate to have that sectional here. We've had it for several years, so that says a lot for our facility, I think.
yeah, I think the facility and I think our people that come back and consistently run it do a great job with what they do. It's nice to have the same faces coming back. You know, before I took over as an assistant AD with Pam Noble, I ran the high jump for probably 15 years myself, and then so after I left, Brett Lee's been there for as long as I can remember now, and he's coming back to do it tomorrow. And you know, you got Trish and Joe Smith at the long jump, and Roger Mapes, who has no dog in the fight here, coming back doing the shot put, along with Barb Beckman and our, I can't remember, I got another one on top of my head that
Sure.
I've lost, but we have 3 doing down there, and then our timers are back. Unfortunately, Walt can't be here this week, and he's done it for a long time, so it's just nice. And Andy Benz, if you know Andy, longtime teacher,
Yes.
he's been calling the track meet for as long as I can remember in the top, so he's already up, ready to come back. And so it's nice to have the same workers all the time. So
Well, let's wish the Spartans the best of luck and get some winners out of this.
it'd be nice if you're in the top 3, you're definitely going to the next round. So
Good deal.
we'll go from there tomorrow night and keep our fingers crossed for
Right.
the best outcome. So.
Right. Okay. I'd like to talk a little bit about your sports program that you, I know, will be putting together for the fall sports. And people can be a sponsor.
Sure.
And get all the details by coming to your office or calling you.
Yeah, you can find most of them on our website, but they're more than welcome to call us, and we can give them what they need to know if they want to become a club sponsor and have their ads in our fall and winter program. And if you get enough sponsorship, you can get some parking passes to certain places, and, you know, football and basketball. So, but more than happy to talk to anybody that wants to.
Sure,
talk about being
and
a sponsor
individuals
of
can
the
be a
Spartans.
sponsor, families can be a sponsor.
Family, individuals, business, corporate. I've got different tiers, anywhere from $15 to be, depending on where you want to be, up to 1,000. So, the more you get in, the more perks you get. So,
Well, it's a good-looking program. I have the winter one here for basketball and wrestling and the winter sports. They do a great job. It's in color. Pictures are in color, and a lot of information in here.
yeah, you know, of course, we hope you go visit our sponsors and,
Sure.
you know, take business to them. And but about 4 or 5 years ago, we switched to all color. Where it used to be all black and white except for the pictures themselves. And then we thought, well, why don't we just make the whole thing in color? It definitely has gone to a better look over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
And we're happy to talk to anybody about it that wants to call in and find out more information.
Every school does this. We go out of town and they have them, but few compare with the one that CHS puts out, I think.
Yeah, I don't always get one, but I know you guys do. So I just care about who's in the program to see who's playing. But
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few, and I think we're ranked right up there with the
think
rest
so.
of them. So.
I'm sure you agree, Sam. I
Oh,
mean,
it's
you
very
see the
nice,
ones
and
out
yeah, I travel all over the state for football and boys and girls basketball, and it's second to none.
Yeah, it's
And
a
they
great.
do a nice job, and I'd
program.
encourage people to get a hold of the athletic department and make sure they're a part of that. And you know, I use it. I look for schedules in there, and,
Sure.
and it's handy. And of course, during basketball games, the opposing team, and football games as well, opposing team roster is
But the
loose leaf
inserts are in there, right?
Right,
And,
so,
yeah, there's a lot of information, and I know the fans enjoy it when they come to the games. Why they're free of charge, and let's hope that a lot of folks become sponsors. Every
That'd be
time.
great.
The old saying, you can't tell players without a scorecard, so there it is.
But I just wanted to call out to the attention that they can start signing up now because.
Absolutely. I got a few in for next year. So
Good.
I'll get ready to send out our thank you letter to our corporate sponsors we have now with a new brochure for next year. And if anybody wants to call in and be on that list, we'll send you a flyer.
And a lot of them are recognized during the season. Your sponsors.
Depending on what level you're in at, you can
Yes.
get your name announced at the boys and girls basketball games each night, plus the football games. And then depending on your level, you get a little gift at the end and appreciation for what you do for the kids of Carnesville High School, because it all goes back to them. So.
And there's an article in there about how to be a good sport and behave.
Well, I hope so, because now as a fan, you can be ejected just like a player, then you have to be suspended for the next game. So that hurts the Connersville High School sportsmanship
Sure.
points.
I try to behave because as a media person, I don't want to be ejected.
Well, I've been around the media people that aren't always very quiet around the table at times. So. but hopefully we don't have that problem come up. So.
This is the final week of the season for the girls and boys and baseball and softball, and they go into the section, as you pointed out, next week. The Lady Spartans, they don't play until the section opens on Monday at New Pal for the girls, I believe.
I can't remember if it's Monday or Tuesday. But I
It
think
opens
might be
Monday,
Tuesday.
but the Spartans don't play until Tuesday, and they get the winner of the Beech Grove New Pal game for
Right.
Monday night.
Second game.
And New Pal is the defending.
Two-time state champion in 3A. So we played them a little early in the year, and they beat us, I think, 9-0. And I don't know if it's just a big hurdle to get over with our girls, but from a talent standpoint, you know, our girls are pretty good. It's just
Yes, they
getting
are.
past the mental
Yeah,
block.
they're
I know
16. They won 16
and
games, I
they're
think.
playing at Batesville tonight, and you know we've played 24 games, and they've hit 30 or 25 games now, and I think, and they've hit 35 home runs. So got a little pop in the bat. And
Yes.
I think for a team that's about the 5th or 6th best home run total in the state, and so it's just getting over that mental hurdle that it's New Pal.
Maybe Beech Grove will take care of them. Who knows?
Well, let's hope.
Get the Hornets to
Maybe the Hornets
sting
nest
'em.
will rise up or something. But, you know, New Pal's had a good program for a long period
Yes.
of time, and that's hopefully where we're going with David. And we've had a lot of success in the last 4 years since he's really taken over and taken charge. And hopefully with our middle school team now, having a softball team,
Yes.
that it'll help us in the long run. And we can continue to build our numbers. And be competitive every place we go. Not that we're not now, but it'd be nice to be standing up there putting rings on people's fingers and giving them medals. So
Yeah, it'd be quite an honor for you as being a member of the IHSA Executive Committee to hand your hometown kids.
that'd be great.
Right. Let's hope that happens soon.
Like next year or this year. We still got a season to go.
Sure.
So.
And the boys section opens on Wednesday at Pendleton. Is that
Yeah, I
right?
think they're playing Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. They got a goofy schedule, so but playing up there, and we'll be ready to roll.
And they play Anderson, I believe, is the team that they'll be playing.
Yeah, and we're going to play them this Saturday. So
Right. So
it's a rain-out game, so we're playing them Saturday just by chance, and actually playing Huntington North at 12:30 Saturday at Anderson, and we're going to play Anderson right after that. So it's a round robin on Saturday at Anderson. So we're hoping our kids are playing well and better. We had a tough loss on Saturday evening to the Lawrenceburg Tigers.
Right.
Unfortunately, ran out of steam in the 9th inning and come up on the short end after being up 3-1 going into the 7th, and had a couple blunders on our end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you make a couple blunders, sometimes that just opens the floodgates, and just couldn't get the damn plug. So, but I think we're 10-10 at this time, and
That's pretty
play
good.
Greensburg tonight at
Yeah.
home for senior night, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we'll get a win there and see where we can place in the conference, and hopefully it's just a springboard to the next week when we head to the sectional. So.
The girls in softball had a successful Saturday. Didn't they go to Madison? And
Yeah, they went to Madison Grant High School, which happens to be my alma mater, so I kind of told them they couldn't beat the Argyles, but they did anyway, which is fine with me because I don't bleed black and gold anymore. I bleed red and white.
Much prettier colors.
They beat McConaughey in the morning game 7-3, and then they beat Madison Grant, I think, 11-10. And Dave said at one time they were down 5-0 with 2 outs in one of the innings and got 8 runs after that, so kind of turned the tide. But girls are playing well. It's just all about believing in themselves that you can
Yes.
beat the teams that you haven't beat before because they're talented enough to do that. So.
facilities at New Powell, what's their field like?
I've only been there once. It's nice. It's got bleachers all the way around the back. And, sits right off the southeast corner of their school building, right by the pool. And so, want to go see the Lady Spartans play? Get there early.
Yeah, it should, but I'm sure they're playing Monday. It opens, and I'm sure they're playing Tuesday.
Yeah, and there'll be the second game on the second night because
Like
the 2 teams that hadn't played will play
o'clock or
first.
something
Yeah,
like that,
around
right.
7. I think they're starting at 5:30, so 5 or 7. Maybe it's 5. I haven't got
Right.
that memorized. But, so,
Well, it'll
be
be
about
great
7 before they tee.
to do well in the sectional. I know that David and the girls really want to play well.
Yeah, you know, when we were in 3A 2 years ago, we won back-to-back sectional titles, and then New Pal took us out last year, and let's hope we can come over that hurdle this year and knock them off their podium a little bit. So I know their AD was talking about, well, he should have got him special rings last year, but if we win this year, we'll get him really special ones. So maybe it's time for the Lady Spartans to take out the Lady Dragon. So
That's right.
Well, New Pal, they have a good sports program. They seem to be pretty tough in everything.
yeah, it's a growing community with a lot of people
Sure,
out there now.
Indianapolis people.
Compared, I always chuckle because I saw an article in the paper about during football season of the 10 wins that Hagerstown had in sectional football, and my 2 brother-in-laws were quarterbacks of a couple of those teams, and one of the teams they beat was New Pal, and Hagerstown's never been above 1A or 2A, and now you think of where New Pal is in certain sports that they're 5A and 6A, so because of success factor. But you think of all those areas because Whiteland was another one of those teams that they beat. Now they're much larger than we are, so it's definitely a growing area.
All
to
those
get to,
bedroom
so.
communities
Right.
in the donut.
Yes.
We might talk about the sports this week. The softball, as you mentioned, softball is at Batesville. Junior varsity baseball is playing at Greensburg, and Greensburg is here at Connorsville in the varsity game. Is that
Varsity
right?
games here and JV's down there tonight.
Okay,
So.
yeah, good deal. On Tuesday, the girls' sectionals, you talked about, track starts, and the baseball team goes to Yorktown for
Thank goodness we don't have any more rainouts. We're traveling to Yorktown for a varsity game tomorrow night.
rainouts are really, well, with the second, you can't make them up now, can you?
No,
really?
we're at the point in time we can't get them in now.
Just
We're
cancel the games, yes.
We're just
You're
out
right.
of luck, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
It's been, the rain's really been a problem for you guys, I know. On Wednesday, the baseball is home with Mount Vernon. JV baseball will be home with Northeastern.
Yeah, but they're going to play down to Babe Ruth Complex
Okay,
on
I thought
Wednesday,
maybe they
so
might.
varsity will be at the high school diamond, and the JV will be down to
It's
Babe
great
Ruth
to have an
Complex.
auxiliary field like that you can entertain 2 baseball
Yeah, it's
Games
kind
at
of, we've been talking with the Parks Department the last couple of years, and finally this year we will get it worked out where we can use it during the months of April and May, since it's sitting quietly, and that gets in more play and it gets the fields ready before their
Sure.
senior league starts down there. So.
Yeah, that's really great to have that cooperation going. And on Thursday, it'll be the boys track sectional, as you're talking about. JV baseball I have at Greensburg, and the golf will be at Rising Sun.
JV baseball is actually going to be here.
Oh,
but it's going to
okay.
be at the complex again. So.
Okay, good. Good deal. That's great. And the golf goes to Rising Sun? According to my
Yeah, they
schedule?
started playing that about 2 or 3 years ago. That's a nice little trip. They'll play that golf course right outside the casino. I don't know what the name.
It's pretty,
Yeah,
right along the
I
river.
played it a couple
Okay.
times. It's a nice little golf course. So.
That sounds be a nice experience for the kids. And then Friday, the tennis sectional will be continuing. On Saturday, I had the boys golf invitational starting at 12 o'clock noon at Willowbrook.
Unfortunately, we're not having that this year.
Oh,
Our
aren't
golf
you?
course is under a little bit of duress on the greens. And,
Oh, okay.
we called that off and canceled that about a week ago to let the teams know. So if they needed to try to find something to pick up, just need some time to heal from last fall. We had a little bit of damage on the course, and it's still trying to come back. So it's
Okay.
it wouldn't be a good situation to bring teams into and
Sure.
have to change the rules as much as we'd have to change it to get it work right. So
Yeah.
they're all understanding, at least I hope.
Well, I'm sure they are. And the baseball team, as you talked about, will be at Anderson. That starts at 12. Did they play Huntington first? Or?
They're going to play Huntington at 12:30, and they'll
12.
play Anderson after that. And then
Okay.
also the JV baseball team's going to go Saturday and play Anderson in a doubleheader up there at the high school itself.
And then I've got the girls softball at Lawrenceburg at 12 noon. Is that their final?
12 noon. They got Lawrenceburg's playing Milan at 10.
Okay, so that's their final
That's
game
it,
of the
right.
season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hard to imagine. It seems like we just started August about a week ago.
At the middle school, the golf team is home Monday with Richmond, and Tuesday they'll be at Hagerstown. The baseball team will be home Monday with Cambridge City. They'll be at Shelbyville on Tuesday, at National Trail, Ohio on Wednesday, home Friday with Waldron. And the softball team will be Tuesday at Yorktown, home Thursday with Union County, and they've concluded their track and field schedule, I believe, at the middle school.
Yeah, I think there's some invite this week that there's a state middle school meet somewhere. Last year I think it was in Terre Haute. I don't know if it's still in Terre Haute or not, but I think some of our kids are going to go participate in that.
Yeah, so do they have some postseason like the high school?
I don't know where
middle
this
school?
meet came from, but
Okay.
it's whatever they call it, the middle school, but I don't think everybody in the state competes in it. So I think it's an invite if you've qualified at a certain place or
Okay.
a certain distance. I think you can go to it. So.
Yeah, good deal. The IHSA control middle school sports?
Nope.
You
Do
want to?
Nope.
You can be a member, a junior member, but our middle school follows the guidelines and the bylaws of the IHSA, but the IHSA doesn't govern middle school
Okay,
athletics. So.
interesting, yeah. In middle school, in basketball, how long are the quarters? And
6 minutes,
they're 6-minute quarters?
just like freshmen.
Okay.
So then you move to 7 as a JV player. That started, 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
And then 8 at the varsity. So.
Right. That's not going to change, is it?
Not to the best of my knowledge, so nobody's brought that up. So
When's the IHSA meet again, and what will you be discussing?
we have a board retreat in June, so that's the next time we'll meet. And it's whatever's on the agenda that Bobby wants to talk about for the year. And then we'll be working at the National Board of Directors Conference in Indianapolis for 5 days. 1st of July. So last year we were in Chicago. This year Indiana's hosting the 100th meeting of that. So we're all got responsibilities to host the 50 states coming the first week of July. So
That's a big deal.
yeah, it's exciting. We had a good time in Chicago and
Sure.
last year, and it was the 99th. And I think Damon Bailey and man, I'm drawing a blank. One more Indiana person is going to be nominated into the National Hall of Fame. They have a dinner. So
Very nice.
but 2 Indiana people are going. Maybe it's Larry Bird. Might be Dane. I can't remember. There's 2 of us going. 2 of them from Indiana going into the National Sports Hall of Fame, NFHS Hall of Fame. So, be a good honor.
Yes, it is. Are there many Hoosiers in that you know?
I don't really know. 6 people or so got in, and however many got in last year. Of course, I don't remember any of them being
Sure.
his, but if you're a high jump person, Dick Fosbury got in last year. The guy who created the Fosbury flop. So, it's interesting just to listen to them talk about their careers and
Yes.
what they've gone through. And things they did to get there. One girl had won their state cross-country meet for 5 consecutive years because in their state you can run as a middle schooler at the high school level. And the only reason she didn't win as a 7th grader, she didn't want to outrun her older sister, so she let her sister win.
Wow.
And then she won the next 5. So.
Damon Migley, he played for
Bedford North Orange.
And didn't they play in the Hoosier Dome and fill that thing when the kid was
packed.
a
The largest crowd ever.
60-some thousand. I sat in the very top row of the dome with my dad, so it was packed.
What's he do now?
I don't know what he was coaching the Bedford North Orange Lady Stars for a while, but I'm not sure what he's doing now.
Yeah.
I just wonder what happened to him. I mean, the name.
He coached his daughter there, I believe.
Correct.
She was a good player.
Yeah.
Of course, played at
He was one of
Indiana
the-
University.
He was one of the first ones that was allowed to coach that wasn't a teacher at the varsity basketball level. Then the Shepherd guy from Carmel coached. And used to call it the Damon Bailey rule, is what they said. So
And is that for any sport now that you can have a lay coach?
I mean, you could have a late coach. Preferably it'd be better, in our opinion, to have someone that's on staff because then you're around the kids all day long.
Yes.
And not just coming to help. You know, sometimes you have an outside job and that takes precedence over what needs to get done. Where when you're teaching, you get your teaching job done, and coaching is just a part of your teaching position. So you still got work to do once you get out of doing your education stuff in the classroom. Where we have a lot of lay coaches that do a great job, but if their boss calls and says I got to be here at 5, then sports get put on the back burner. So
Retired teachers, though, could go ahead and coach if.
Sure.
I know Gary Brown's having a clinic for basketball youngsters starting in kindergarten up through 9th grade, I believe, at Spartan Bowl. And is this early in June or is it this month yet?
1st of June. Their middle school will have one starting next week, and then it'll be K through 6 up through in the summertime. And most coaches will have a camp, and we have information at the high school. I'm getting ready to post onto the website so that you can find the flyers. So basketball will have one. The girls' basketball will have one once we get a coach named.
And they're at Spartan Bowl and Spartan Arena? Or
Just depends. They go back and forth depending on availability.
and what do they do at these camps?
A lot of skill work.
Okay,
That's what we hope anyway.
sure.
So, but I'm sure that's what Kerry does. Most of his is skill work, and I'm sure they play a little bit, but it's mainly talking about skills. And depending on the grade level, keeping it fun for some of the younger ones to get them involved. And then as you get older, there's a little different expectation of what's going to happen at camp. So,
Right, yeah.
but,
Are we working on a Hall of Fame at CHS?
working on one.
Is Sam and I
actually.
going to be included, or?
Well, those will be things that can be discussed.
I
once we
mean,
get out,
I'd rather
but,
have a statue outside. I don't know about Sam, but
We have a form and what I think will be the bylaws ready to roll, and just needed people to look at them and approve them, and then working on purchasing a virtual Wall of Fame video board, which is what we want to take all the pictures at the high school, if you've been out in the high school, that we can update. And if anybody in the community has old pictures of old athletes or teams that you would like to have, we'd love to have them. And then once we get the board in, we'll upload them to the board, and they'll be web-based, so you can see them no matter where you're at. And put teams in by decades and individuals, if all-star pictures, if anybody. Mr. Judd said he was an Indiana baseball all-star, but nobody knows where his picture's at. So if anybody's got a picture of Mr. Judd as an Indiana baseball all-star, we'll be able to load him up in there. So,
but that sounds
but that's
great.
what we're working on. And
Yeah, that
hopefully,
sounds-
I've been in negotiations with the video board company, and it's got a pretty penny price to it. But once we buy it, we'll get it all set up and ready to run. So,
Something to look forward to. Brent, it's really been a pleasure for Sam and I to have you here on the program, and I know you've gone through a lot of work to get us guests when you couldn't make it. We always appreciated the coaches coming, and some of them were able to bring some athletes with them, and it's been a great season here on the Spartan Sports Report, and we thank you.
well, thanks for having us, and we appreciate all the work that Channel 3 does for the athletes and the videos they put out and the TV program. So.
Sam, you got a final word?
Just been a pleasure all season long, and we'll be back together middle of August.
Okay, everybody, and thanks a lot for watching Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Good evening.